We're back! Coming at you podcast, episode 221. Brought to us by who, Bullet? Stitcher?
You didn't even introduce us.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. I was waiting for you to fade out the music, but you never did. It confused me. And we're back! Welcome to Coming at you podcast, episode 221. I am the Dynamo Kid, joined by my good friend, Kevin HTH Honeycutt. Also, Toddy.
Hello.
The quintessential dad.
He is the dad. And this show is brought to us by Stitcher.
Stitcher Smart Radio, the smartest way to listen to radio, on or off the radio. You can download or stream thousands of your favorite podcasts and create things, and it's good.
OutOfPocketNetwork.com.
They got a lot of podcasts about stuff, and we're on it.
I think you need to research that one a little more.
Well, they do a lot of like sports podcasts.
Don't open that over the He's opening a beer over the soundboard.
It's not only,
and you're not used to drinking beer, so you don't know what's going to happen.
It's not any beer. It's the champagne of beers.
Miller Lite.
It's the High Life.
Also brought to us by Resp Tattoo.
He's right by the Keswick Theater.
He is at Keswick Tattoo. You know what? You're always saying, hey, he's at Keswick, near the Keswick Theater. Why don't you just say where he's at?
Well, because a lot of people might know where the Keswick Theater is more so than the Keswick Tattoo.
They're right across the street from each other. In what town?
Keswick.
There you go. Also brought to us by Extreme Cage Combat.
Yes, Extreme Cage Combat.
We still got to get Ryan on here. Also brought to us by Dads and Cargo Shorts.
Yes, our IT support. And Leatherman Tools. Todd will attest to the Leatherman tool. He needed a screwdriver.
Todd needed a good screw.
I did. And that son of a bitch worked like a charm.
Also brought to us by...
How about our friend at the Comedy Club?
Comedy Club. It is.
Papa Ross.
I don't see anything playing on here, by the way, Todd.
Hit refresh.
I did. I refreshed the shit out of that. Also brought to us by Philly Comedy Club. This Friday we have Shuli Egar from the Howard Stern Show.
Oh.
Alex Pavone and Mike Birdie. There are shows at 7 and 9 p.m. You can use the Coming At You podcast code CAYPOD for discount tickets. Also, Saturday, April 14th. Oh, we're doing Saturday shows now, too? What? It's got Saturday shows. All right. They were doing only Fridays. Also, again, on Friday is Shuli Egar from the Howard Stern Show, featuring Alex Pavone, Mike Birdie, Peggy O'Leary. You can use the Coming At You podcast code CAYPOD for that show as well. Get discount tickets. Also at the Atlantic City Comedy Club, they have Nor Davis from Amazon Stand-Up Special.
Ooh. Speaking of Amazon, Bosch Season 4 starts tomorrow.
There you go.
Excited about that.
And featuring Matt Povich.
Okay.
And also check out comingatyoupodcast.com. Right?
Yes.
I'm having a stressful day. Does it appear like I'm stressed when I came in the door? I'm having a dad day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a dog who is 16 years old.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
She's been wearing diapers.
My dog wears diapers.
And she completely has ruined my dining room carpet.
No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's ruined it. There's no coming back. And now I gotta block her in to just stay in a certain area of the house so she can just ruin that area.
Which area have you chosen?
Where would you choose if one area was ruined already?
The one that's ruined.
The ruined area. I would go with the ruined area.
I'm not good at math, but I think that's an easy equation.
I'm gonna add a second room, and I'm gonna lock her in that room.
You have some areas in this house would be beneficial for her to be locked into.
Oh yeah, but she's not going up and down any sets of stairs.
No, I'm talking about the back room.
The back room's carpet is fine.
No, it's rubber. The rubber one. The
Yeah,
mat.
she's still got to go from somewhere. I'm not going to ruin my wrestling mats. You crazy? So
what other things have been dropped on that carpet? That's what I want to know.
Before the show, I was running around, right?
You need to get dog diapers.
Trying to get dog diapers, which apparently they only sell the small size at Giant.
Why don't you just buy like pull-ups for kids and put it on the dog?
I was going to do that, but once it gets wet, all the shit falls out of the back of it where it's cut through. You ever cut one of those bad boys open?
Yeah.
It's not good.
No.
And
Can I ask you why you cut one open?
He's got a kid. Sometimes they accidentally burst.
There's a difference between burst and you asked him if he cut one open. He went, "Oh yeah."
Did you cut one open, Bullet?
Well, sometimes you got to teach a kid a lesson.
I think sometimes you do have to teach a kid a lesson, and if that kid doesn't learn his lesson, cut that diaper open.
There you go. Say now who's going to clean that up? Me.
So
I taught myself a lesson.
I had a little bit of last couple hours.
Yeah, I've had a stressful week.
So I'd like to have a toast to dads.
Yeah.
All the dads out there. We're all underappreciated.
Not
right?
the moms though, only the dads.
Not the moms. Dads are underappreciated, I think.
Fucking
Right?
right they are.
They are.
I think for sure. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I've run around, do a lot of stuff, and there's really no thank you. Like today, right? Declan and Delaney had letters to have signed for school, right?
You signed them.
No. they have argument. Those two have been arguing for weeks.
Killed my whole fucking point.
They're twins, and they've been arguing for weeks about who's the extra one. Right?
Yeah.
So I go, I'm like, let me see your letter. And I see Declan's. It says, "Dear Mom and Dad." Has all this nice stuff at the end. It says, "Love, Declan." And Delaney's letter sitting right next to it says, "Mom." And then it says, "Love your favorite kid." So I signed Declan's.
Wow.
Yeah. And I said to her, "You are now the extra one."
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, at least one of your daughters loves you.
They don't even laugh at any of my jokes anymore.
They
My
don't?
dad jokes.
That's not right.
I know.
They're getting too old. Yeah, my kid still thinks I'm funny. He still loves me, I think.
What does he like most about you? Is it your dad jokes?
No, he actually does have a lot of knock jokes though. He's like a jokester.
What's the best joke you've told him lately?
I got
One that you completely made up.
He told me one. He said, "Why'd the chicken cross the road?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Because he did."
That sounds like you.
Yeah. I have a list of dad jokes. There's a dad joke game, apparently.
The one we never had her drink anyway. By the way, let's. I need to drink badly.
Yeah, I've had a stressful week or two.
I did drink.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't. I was in the middle of chatting. I was trying to lead Bullet into a dad joke conversation and he ignored the first two attempts.
I'm a professional.
I believe you did everything you could, Chris. I was here. I saw it.
Todd turned around and actually looked to see what we were talking about.
He did. Come on, Todd. Supposed to be on my side here, you fuck.
So, one I always... And how does this game work?
The game works is you have to maintain eye contact.
Right.
And you got to tell the joke. And then the person who laughs first loses.
I wouldn't mind throwing in a little bit of a drink penalty. So is the game over as soon as one guy laughs?
Okay, then we should do drinking penalties then. Let's make it... So dad jokes, obviously they have to be like PG. They can't be like, "So I was fucking some chick in the ass" type stuff.
But let's clarify what dad jokes are. They're like they're just...
Corny bad jokes.
Corny bad jokes that even when you're 4 or 5, or not when you're 4 or 5, your dad tells you when you're 4 and 5. Even when you're in your 20s, you're still telling the same shit.
Yeah.
They're still telling dad jokes.
Yep. I'll be doing that.
So I'll let you start. I'm gonna look you dead in the eyes. You're not looking at me.
I can't laugh at this.
Does that count if you laugh?
Yeah, I guess it would. Yeah.
So you should drink.
It would.
Take a little sippy.
Hold on.
A little sippy.
Hold on. What time did the man go to the dentist? Tooth hurty.
I almost cracked for a second.
Now you.
I didn't drink
one.
then. All right.
No,
I'll tell you one that I made up.
All right.
What do you get when you mix an alligator and a dog?
I don't know.
Alligator.
That's really funny.
Jesus Christ, Todd.
He's. I don't know if he's gonna do good at this.
He's not.
Now, who's your question go to?
It's the same thing.
It's round robin.
So we both look at Todd.
Yeah.
Why don't crabs give to charity? Because they're shellfish.
Nothing. Nothing on me on that one. Just rapid firing these, huh?
A ham sandwich walks into a bar and orders a beer. Bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve food here."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
I'm biting the inside of my lip. Rapid
My
fire?
turn?
Yeah, come on, rapid fire.
Jesus Christ.
What do you call a fake noodle?
I don't know.
An impasta. So you're not going to be able to hold back because he can't stop himself. He's not even looking in the eyes either. He's just in the
He's going
background.
to get so drunk tonight.
I got hit in the head with a can of Diet Coke today. Don't worry, I'm not hurt. It was a soft drink.
Not bad.
Whenever the cashier at the grocery store asks my dad if he would like the milk in the bag, he replies, "No, just leave it in the carton." Okay, tough crowd.
Which reminds me real quick of every time I go out to eat with my dad, and he gets unsweetened tea, and then he's like, "Can I get some sugar?" I'm always waiting for one of the waitresses to just lean over and kiss him on his head.
You got me again.
That's not my dad joke, though. Have you heard about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere. Nothing from Todd over there. Huh.
Why do melons have weddings? Because they can't elope.
Both holding back. See, when you look at the other guy trying not to laugh, I think it makes it a little bit harder. I'm ready. Look at me.
Why do chicken coops...
Drink. Do I get to go now?
I'd still like to hear the joke, though.
Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors? Because if they had 4, they would be chicken sedans.
What do you get? This is would the one wall say to the other wall? Meet me at the corner. Nothing.
Do I enjoy making courthouse puns? Guilty.
He's disappointed because he can't stop laughing. Can I fire while you're looking?
How do you make a Kleenex dance? Put a little boogie in it. Jesus Christ, you are a basic bitch. He would just let
He's already into his second beer in like the first 2 minutes.
Drink.
What do you call a belt with a watch on it? A waste of time. See, he's not paying attention. That's the problem.
Waste of
Last
time.
couple.
Waste of time.
Yeah, but you're not fully focused. I need you to focus.
All right.
Uh-huh. Lots of dead air.
He's not doing well.
Next. All right. We're skipping in.
Ta-ta-ta-dee.
Whenever we drive past a graveyard, my dad says, "Do you know why I can't be buried there?" And we all say, "Why not?" And he says, "Because I'm not dead there."
What did the ocean say to the shore? Nothing. It just waved. Nothing. I heard nothing. All these are Todd's not even paying attention when it's not his turn.
2 peanuts were walking down the street. One was assaulted.
Maybe he shouldn't ask any because he can't get any out of his mouth. He should just sit there and giggle. Make ta-ta-toddy laugh game.
I know. You didn't drink.
At O&B with Dad.
I laugh because he made me laugh.
At O&B with Dad, which O&B is a restaurant apparently, the hostess says, "Do you have reservations?" And Dad says, "No, I'm confident I want to eat here."
And he skipped over me, by the way.
Sorry.
That was a little skip action.
Sorry. No, I was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullet went. You know, without geometry, life is pointless.
How do you make?
He's not paying attention.
How do you make holy water?
How?
You boil the hell out of it.
Just put that down. Let's see if you just laugh at these.
You got to drink.
He's not doing good at asking the questions.
He's not.
And in between, he's spending a lot of time looking for one. Again, he's still not there.
How do you make an octopus laugh? With tentacles.
Tickles. And he skipped me again.
Well, I thought we were just doing that rotation.
Oh, okay.
You got my
Here's one
undivided
that's not
attention.
on the list.
Do it.
You hear about the fire at the circus? The heat was intense. And he smiled at least. You got the smile.
When I went to choir practice, my dad told me not to forget my bucket. When I asked him why, he said to carry your tune.
Nothing. That was just terrible.
Yeah.
Why did the man name his dog Rolex and Timex?
Why?
Because they were watchdogs.
How many bodybuilders does it take to change a light bulb? 3. 1 to change a bulb, and 2 to say, man, you look huge.
I did the punchline for that.
How much does a hipster weigh? An Instagram.
It's not your turn, Chris. You skipped.
Oh, I know. I skipped right over you.
2 guys walk into a bar. The third one ducks.
I always like those ones for some reason.
What's the difference?
The one I always like is 2 guys walk into a bar. Which is weird because you thought the second guy would have seen it.
What's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a tricycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle? A tire.
I actually like that one. Breaking news bullet. Energizer Bunny was arrested. Charged with battery. He just laughs at everything over there.
I had a dream that I was a muffer last night. I woke up exhausted.
I was going to tell a joke about dogs, but I felt it was a little far-fetched.
What kind of cheese can never be yours? Nacho cheese.
What's the difference between a frog and a horny toad? A frog says, ribbit, ribbit. A horny toad says, rub it, rub it.
I was addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around.
2 peanuts were walking down the road. 1 got assaulted.
Oh, he did that one already.
He did do that?
Yes. Drink
see
for
if
that.
you laugh. Let me ask you again. 2 peanuts were walking down the road. 1 got assaulted.
All right, here's the last one for me. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit?
I don't know.
A banana.
I don't think I would have been able to tell that joke.
Yeah.
So, I think we can play this game again. We just need to work on having the list ahead of time.
My list was ahead of time.
Todd's new nickname should be not Toddy. It should be
La La Laffy.
Speed Bump.
It should be Giggles.
Speed Bump.
La
or
La Laffy.
Giggles the Clown. Giggles the Clown. So anyway, I'm going to talk about power of the internet for a second. So I log onto the internet yesterday. I follow Chris Pratt from
Star-Lord?
Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy. We're Instagram friends. He doesn't follow me back, but
So you're an Instagram stalker.
pretty much.
Okay.
So first he was on there. He came out of the theater and he was talking about I just saw a Quiet Place, and he's like just chatting it up about how great it is. So I'm sure that boosted sales for that. But there was also a picture of him with a kid named Jake 8, I think was his name. And this kid is 16 years old, right?
Yeah.
He only had like 170 followers yesterday. And Chris Pratt met up with him. He's 16. He's got a rare form of bone cancer.
No, that's the word.
And he just decided he's not taking any more treatment for it. And so instead, him and his family are just doing a bucket list of stuff. On the bucket list was to meet Chris Pratt.
That's cool.
Chris Pratt met and posted that, and the kid's up to like 200,000 followers by today. So that's pretty crazy, right? So a lot of good stuff can happen with the internet.
Are those 200 followers going to help cure him?
200,000.
Are they going to help cure him?
Probably one's a doctor. I would hope.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody could do something good for them. But with the power of the internet comes bad stuff too, right? And I'm sitting in my living room the other night, and
Well, what's some other good stuff on the internet?
well, you can find your pornography, which is you're a big fan of.
I wasn't even going to say that.
What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, through the power of the internet, it has basically...
I like to say that before I search for stuff. Through the power of the internet.
Yeah, through the power of the internet, you've basically... there are tons of wrestling promotions that are able to be seen, the accessibility.
Yeah, I don't see that as a positive thing.
How is it not a positive thing?
I see stuff
I
like
believe that's a waste of bandwidth.
Coming At You podcast is a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
People can get that. But I also see a lot of shitty stuff on YouTube at the same time. Like, I see guys that have like 4 or 5 million followers, and they don't do anything besides stupid
Mumble
shit.
rap. Mumble rap was created on the internet.
Mumble rap's a big thing, but I was sitting in my living room the other night, watching the interweb, and on YouTube, the main live event that everybody's watching was Zuckerman, or Zucker, right, from Facebook.
That guy's such a dork.
What's his name?
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
He is such a dork.
But
He looks like Data from
He
Star
does.
Trek.
I thought it was interesting that
He looks like a kid who could never get his dick sucked unless he
that
had
he
no
came
knees.
out and just apologized for not doing it right the first time, as far as like security and everything else.
Did you see the little pad he was sitting on?
No, well, dude, this was like 11 o'clock at night, so he had to been there all day.
No, he's got a little booster seat.
He's got a little booster.
So he sits up higher in the
Yeah.
table.
Okay, but
Such a
would
little
you
bit.
sit on something comfortable?
I would love.
I don't think it looked comfortable.
I
Do
would.
you think he got it on Amazon?
I would love to beat the shit out of him.
Why?
He's got a punch me face.
Okay, but why is he on
Wow.
trial right now is what I wanted to talk about.
Because he has a punch me face.
Okay, so that's why he's on trial is because his face.
They're
Okay.
gathering them all
I
one
would
at a
put him
time.
on trial for having a punch me face.
But what he's on, and not necessarily he's on trial. I guess they're trying to make up.
He's the face of it.
Is he facing charges?
No, he basically, they want him to answer questions about selling of information and basically how they...
Right now, he's basically the face of anybody who has some sort of website that collects data right now. Like he's speaking
that
for everybody.
and they also want to know basically how or why, you know, Facebook was silencing conservative stuff and skewing things, you know, because there's a huge double standard with it. You know, everybody wants to have, you know, free speech, and everybody wants to be accepting of everything until it's something they don't agree with, you know.
But originally when it started out,
Both sides are foolish.
it was just about connecting people, right?
No, it was about getting his dick sucked. He created Facebook to meet chicks in college and get laid.
And he stole it from the two twins.
Well, he worked with them, but then he
Yeah.
just took it.
That's essentially why it was made.
Okay,
Right,
so
it's to meet people.
to meet people, right, and to share information. Originally, it started out, I guess, it's just a college, right? And they
Social media is a blight.
okay, but the reason it started was so people could connect, right? Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, it's rather ironic, isn't
Okay,
it?
and over the years, it's been around what 14, 15 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's evolved from something that was just about connecting to people to something that's a massive moneymaker.
Sure.
And how they make their money is by
Selling your data.
taking your data and sharing. Right? And part of the reason that he's on trial, right, or not on trial or whatever the hearings are for, is that I guess 84 million people had their information given out to whoever.
Yep.
Right? Can you elaborate? This is something you wanted to talk about.
Well,
And I'm pulling teeth right now.
you're not pulling teeth. I just think that, you know, these companies make their money by selling your data to... There's nothing that you are doing. Let's get this right out of the way. There's nothing that you're doing in 2018 that's not cataloged or fucking
Not
recorded.
somewhere. If it went through the internet.
Exactly. So unless you're using onion browsers and VPNs and all that, everything that you do is cataloged somewhere.
Do you think that happens with the dark web stuff too?
That's the whole nature of the dark web, is that it's not tracked.
No, I understand that, but do you think that it's an illusion that it's an actual dark web, or maybe that's a government thing where
No.
now they're getting all your shit?
No, because they use it so much, though, to leak information and anonymously and things like that. I'm sure they can track it, but it's much harder. I mean, they have people that literally can buy... I was on a website on the dark web where you could, just like it was Amazon.
Is it illegal to go on the dark web?
No. It was... They had, like, reviews for fucking heroin.
Like just different qualities of it?
Yes. It was insane.
Like there's a dealer locator and like best deal, like best rating, like 2 years in a row.
It's insane.
How do you actually get to the dark web?
Yeah, how do you get to the dark
web? Well, you
web?
need an Onion browser, or like a Tor browser, Tor.
Okay.
And what happens is the way that a Tor browser works is it works through a series of relays.
But how do you know the Tor browser that you're using is actually one that's not government created?
Well, because there's a Tor project. You go to the Tor project website and you download the browser. It's just like an Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or anything like that.
But you don't think they're in that too?
No, no. I really don't, because there's just so much stuff that has come out with it.
What if all the shit you thought was safe that you were searching for is actually logged in?
You can do searches. You can do all kinds of leaks, like DNS leaks and things like that you can actually check it.
How do you know those are like you're?
Well, it's a constant battle because like these guys.
I'm sure there's some weird shit you're looking at when you're on there.
I don't really look at too much weird shit. Really, what I look at. What the original reason that I got a VPN?
Was it to illegally download wrestling videos? I
No.
feel like that would be the reason.
It was because New Japan World was showing a lot of shows that they blocked content in America because of copyright laws. And so I was like, well, fuck that. And now I use it mainly to watch Netflix stuff from England that we don't get on here.
You can just do that with a VPN now. You don't need a Tor.
Well, the Tor browser was just, okay, I have a VPN. What are cool things you can do with a VPN? So
when you use your Tor browser, are you using it in combination with the VPN?
You have to, yeah.
What if you don't?
Well, then it's pointless to have a Tor browser.
Then they're all fine. When you download the Tor, right?
Yeah.
Are you using the VPN when you download it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as far as Facebook's concerned,
they have a Tor. They have an Onion site.
No, I understand. But you wanted to talk about the CDC CTE trial, and he is basically in trouble for them leaking or not having security precautions in place for
data breach.
For data breach.
Yeah.
So can you elaborate on that for me?
Well, they're basically saying like, yo, you have a huge collection of data at your hands. And they've always maintained, well, we don't sell it and we don't use it. And they're like, well, that's great, but what precautions are you using to safeguard that data? Because do
you think they buy stuff from people? Because
without a doubt.
The reason I'm asking is because there's a lot of times I'll look at something on Amazon.
It's a dog and pony show.
I'll look at something on Amazon and I'll go on Facebook and it's one of the advertisements for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you can actually, even if you were just on a website, if you were looking on something in Amazon, you go into any website and all of a sudden you start seeing the links there.
How do you block that?
You can't. Well, what it's doing is it's looking at your browser history.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I understand it's getting it from somewhere. How do you block it is the question.
Well, you turn JavaScript off. You block your cookies. Yeah.
What's up, Script?
Yeah. There's things you can do, but you should know at the end of the day there is nothing that you can be completely anonymous in 2018 in this country.
So
there's nothing that you can do that's completely.
Do you think he's answering in an honest way? Like when well, let's start out.
I think the whole thing is a dog and pony show.
He started out at the beginning apologizing for not handling it correctly.
Well, and I think the general problem was that if you were a developer of something on Facebook, you had access to this data that you could then use to help figure out how you're going to make whatever you're going to do. The problem was one of those companies then gave that information to somebody else. But
yeah,
they weren't locking it down enough that it was pretty easy.
Right, but once your information was shared initially with whoever you signed your agreement with, like you don't have an agreement with that second party.
No.
That they're not going to share it, right? And then go. And we ran into that.
When's the last time you read the EULA?
It's like this thick. I don't know if you saw the dude hold it up during the court. You didn't watch it at all, did you?
No.
He holds it up and it's literally like 256 pages, and he's like, do you think anybody's ever read this?
Does anybody read any of them?
No, I don't think so. This is Zuckerberg saying it.
Yeah.
But the fact that...
He's got a punch me face. You can't say he doesn't have a punch me face.
Well, let's get beyond that for the conversation.
Okay.
Right? So...
I just want to hear you admit it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got one of those faces. But I'm watching him, and he seems like he's honestly interested in correcting whatever was previously wrong. Are you feeling that from him? Or have you watched it at all?
Yeah, I have. I think he is a guy that is probably very used to being insulated and he's probably used to being.
So I got the opposite. I felt like he was very connected to what was going on.
No, I think he's a guy who he's the biggest opinion in the room, and I think he was like, oh shit, I'm not the most important guy in the room now, and this is a really weird fucking feeling. He probably hasn't been that intimidated since he's been to his parents' house for fucking Thanksgiving dinner.
How long did you watch it when you were watching it?
About like 30 minutes of it.
I didn't feel like he was intimidated in any way. I felt like he was confident in his answers.
I smelled fear.
And I also felt like he was educated on what they were asking him. Because they were asking a lot of weird questions.
I've been trained to detect fear.
Do you do the handhold like in
I gave him. It was an ocular
Meet the
pat
Parents?
down.
Yeah, Meet the Parents.
It was an ocular pat down, and I assessed his fear.
So, what's the worst thing you've looked at and then it's shown up somewhere where people saw it? Where it's come back to you as like an advertisement or something? Like, I don't think, like, Amazon sells dildos, right?
Honestly,
I don't think they throw a dildo
I
at
think
you
the
when
worst
you're
thing.
on,
I think the worst
Facebook.
thing is like Pornhub will be like, "Hey, here's some recommended videos because you watch this type of shit,"
do you find that weird?
and I'm like, I don't know about that
Do you think some of the suggestions are not quite on par for what you were looking at?
Based on my browsing history.
The one that keeps coming up into my history is ghetto chicks. I've never watched one, so I don't know how that one keeps showing up.
Like ghetto chick brawls?
Maybe they know something.
Like,
maybe they know
like,
something about
like
you.
Ghetto chicks having sex with dudes.
You got a problem with that?
That's not what I said.
Well, what are
The
you saying?
statement was that's what keeps showing up. And you always do that stupid thing where you're like, oh, it's a racist thing.
Well,
So
maybe.
that has nothing to fucking do with
Well,
that.
maybe they think you need a little bit more chocolate in your diet.
They might think that, but it shows up for some reason, and I never even watched those kind of videos. If I did, I would be fine with it.
Hey man, let me
But
tell
if
you
I'm
something.
looking for suggestions for shit I'm gonna watch, maybe their search engine or suggestion engine should get a little better.
I'm just telling you something. There's nothing wrong with having a sweet tooth.
I understand that. How about let's play this game. Whatever topic we're on speaking about, like, you just stay with me for a minute.
I am staying with you on it. You talked about that you do not have a very Afrocentric appetite when it comes to pornography.
Didn't say that either. I didn't say anything about ghetto chicks, right?
Okay.
So
maybe you're just questioning their
Financial
algorithms.
stability?
I'm
They're not,
questioning
they're not knowing you.
I would like to see videos of people who make less than $12,000 a year making love.
I gotta be honest. I like professionally filmed stuff. I like bleached buttholes and no hairs.
No, I
and
do that. I
straight
do that as
faces.
well. But I don't.
Amateur.
Let's stay on the you put on the list. Let's talk about the CDC
No.
CTE thing.
No, that's something completely different.
Yeah, that
than
is
Facebook
something
thing.
else.
I understand that, but we're getting sidetracked, and I can't pull out of you anything you want to talk about on that subject.
I think you're having a bad day and you're taking it out on me.
Is it me, Todd?
Yeah, this has nothing to do with Facebook or anything to do with.
What is it?
It's concussion
CTE is
stuff.
Concussion stuff. It's CT found out.
You wanted to talk about the CTE, CDC.
Why? I'm having that day.
I accept your apology.
So Mark Zuckerberg gets a concussion.
I accept your apology. Holy shit.
Were you confused when he kept saying it?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
why the fuck
Why
did
didn't
you-
you just say that instead of let me fucking keep going?
I did. I did correct you. I
So
said
Mark
you said-
Zuckerberg's got a concussion?
Apparently.
How did he get it?
From all the fucking questions being hurled at him.
Is it the punch me face? Like people just want to punch
Someone
him?
fucking punched him and gave him a concussion.
Literally just, I felt like I was just fighting you the whole fucking
No,
time.
I thought it was an interesting topic, but you kept bringing this up every once in a while. I'm like,
The
I don't think he
CTC, the
knows what he's
CTE
talking.
didn't register. What's CDC?
The Center for Disease and Control.
It's not Facebook?
Nope.
No.
Jesus Christ.
That's not part of the
I
YOLO
never
agreement?
once said anything about Facebook on the list. And
Well,
you
the
just wanted to
Facebook
talk
thing's
about it.
been the whole thing in the news, and you just
Yeah.
thrown the initials
And
out.
I
man.
corrected you. I did correct you. I said, you mean Facebook. And you're like, the CDC trial. I'm like, you mean the Facebook trial. And
Why don't you
kept
just
talking.
clarify what the difference was?
It took a while. I thought you knew what you were talking about. It wasn't until recently when you were like, dude, you wanted to talk about that. I'm like, shit, I don't think he's
Those
talking
explains the last 10 minutes.
Maybe you got a concussion. I mean, someone drop you on your head in jiu-jitsu or something?
So, Bullet, what do you think about concussions? You know, guys that get them in the sport, and
Well-
there needs to be more regulation.
Well, the CDC found this.
Wow.
And this is topical because
knocked
we're
it out.
going to get into some fight news and we're going to talk about some freedoms and stuff. The CDC had some interesting findings with the CTE, and what they found that in the past, people have believed that CTE, obviously we know that is an effect with concussions. And people have the idea that when you get your bell rung, you get knocked out, you bang helmets in football, whatnot, that leads to CTE, and it certainly does. But these findings with the CDC have found that it can also be caused by not really concussions, but any type of trauma to your body.
To your body.
Well, like if you're getting jarred around or whatnot to where, hey, you don't have a concussion. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's put it this way. Like UFC fighters, right?
Sure.
They'll have a really good fight. And, they'll get punched in the head quite a bit, right? Or even in sparring. You're not getting, hey, how do you feel? Okay, rough fight, rough sparring
session. There's a mentality
session.
to just keep going.
But what I mean is like, okay, I had a very hard sparring session or I had a really hard fight. They check you out. You don't have any concussion signs and you're fine. But what they're finding is that, and again, this is all like a new study, relatively new. They're finding that, repeated trauma like that can also lead to CTE.
Have you ever had your bell rung?
Many times.
How?
Sparring, kickboxing.
Non-combat sports related.
I fell through a ceiling and landed on my head.
How the hell did you do that?
I don't know. I don't remember anything about it.
Do you remember how you got on the ceiling?
No. Okay, so no.
That would be a good place to start.
No. So April 6th is like a bad day for me, apparently.
Every year?
Well, 6 years ago I fell through a ceiling, and 3 years ago I shattered my foot.
And that's our dad's birthday as well. That's our dad's birthday as well, so we can remember this. So it's Dad's birthday, National Deadfoot Day.
Deadfoot Day. So the
Oh, by the way, I didn't have that plugged in.
The whole time.
Yeah, apparently.
That's awesome.
You didn't have what plugged in?
The sound, the audio. So let's just keep going. And talking about concussions, Todd has had many of them.
Which could lead to some of these mess-ups.
So he has one job.
So we had a good 43 minutes.
One job.
Of no audio or audio coming off from just across the room into the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's all right. Doesn't matter. Nobody's even watching right this second, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Giggles over here.
It doesn't matter. Forgot to hook all his shit up. Unbelievable. What does he have? How many jobs?
Only one.
And what's that? Connected. I think Todd's had a lot of concussions over the years. I remember when we were younger.
I've had
Todd was hit by a car.
9.
And I'm sitting there in my bedroom and I look out the front window and some random dude's just dropping him off with his bike that's all mashed up. And Todd comes into the house and the guy drives away. And my mom's like, what happened? Todd's like, guy hit me with his car.
Unbelievable.
So Todd's got a concussion number 1.
No, that's not number 1.
What was number 1?
Eric.
That was after.
No.
You were like 10 years old when you got that.
With Eric?
No, with the car getting hit.
No, I was riding a bike to Bristol. I got hit in Bristol.
There's
no way in 10 years old I was riding.
You were
my bike
on
to
your
Bristol.
BMX bike?
No, I was on a 10-speed bike.
Okay. So we got one response that somebody's watching. They could hear it, but there was just an echo.
Yeah.
Okay. So either way, it doesn't matter. So Todd got hit with a headbutt by our friend Eric.
Put me in intensive care for 3 days.
Put him in intensive care for 3 days.
Amnesia for 2.
Todd probably weighed about 110 pounds within months, pushing 2 bills.
Wow.
Just gigantic.
You know what? I was very similar to that. Was it Vacation where the kid with the cross eyes gets kicked in the head by a horse?
So a couple months
Cross-eyed
later,
gets hit.
the same kid accidentally headbutts him and gives him another concussion, right back to skinny. Within like a couple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
They hit like the giggle flex in your brain or something.
Todd's like a puffer fish. As soon as he feels danger, he swells.
I know a lot.
But I remember I've seen dudes get concussions. I remember I used to work for this company called General Floor. And you ever see those long poles they put in the carpet things and pull them up?
Oh, yeah.
So this kid was the warehouse guy, right? And his name was John. And I'm about ready to go on lunch. It's a Memorial Day weekend. I go out to the warehouse and he's hanging on the end while I'm talking to him. I'm sitting on the forklift. Mm-hmm. He's like, lift me up. I'm like, all right, cool. And I lift him up. And he's like, go higher. So we get up. He's probably 12 feet off the ground, like from his feet. He's like, now go in a circle. And I'm like, all right. So I start going in a circle. And the middle is kind of slow, right? But on the outside, it's that giant loop, right? And it's starting to pick up centrifugal force. And so now he's hanging onto the pole and his feet are flying behind him, right? So he's kind of like Superman-ish. And he goes to me, and you can see he's starting to lose his grip. He's getting this panic look on his face. And he goes, stop. So I take my foot off the gas, brakes automatically lock up, and his body goes, whoosh, and it just launches him up into the air. He's probably 15, 20 feet up in the air right now.
And you know we had time to think about it.
Going head over head, right? Lands on his head only. Concrete breaks his fall.
Oh.
Right? He lays there not moving.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
I'm thinking he's dead. I got to get rid of this body. But there's other people inside the office, and it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
I walk over to him, and he's just crumpled. Like, his legs are folded. Like, he's just out.
Oh.
And I look down at him. I'm like, and I'm looking around. I'm like, John. And he opens his eyes, and he jumps up. And he goes, holy fuck, that hurt. So he goes to the beach with his family that weekend.
Oh, no.
And I get a call from his sister the next morning because she worked with us as well. Mm-hmm. She's like, what did you do to my brother? I said, what do you mean? She's like, we went out drinking last night. Nobody can wake him up.
Oh, shit.
He's in the hospital.
Uh-oh.
And turns out he was actually just really tired and possibly concussed.
Shit.
And he didn't wake up till like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
God damn.
Yeah.
I don't remember falling through the ceiling. I was doing cable work at my parents' house. And I opened up the wall plate and was like, oh, the line's going up. All right.
Were you in an attic?
Well, yeah. So no, I was on the ground floor. And what happened?
You fell upwards through the ceiling?
Just shut up. So I opened up the wall plate on the floor and I said, oh, the line's running up through the attic. I got to go up to the attic. So I that's the last thing I remember. The next thing I remember, I'm on the floor and I remember I came through, and it's like I woke up from a nap. You ever wake up from a nap and you're really confused for a couple seconds?
Yes.
Well, it was like that for like 2 minutes.
Is it like when you go to sleep at like dusk and you wake up in the dark and you think it's time to get up for school?
I had no idea where I was, why I was there, what was going on. And I remember I was like, the first thing I remember I was on the floor.
Can I just tell you what I picture real quick?
Yeah.
I picture your parents sitting at the kitchen table.
They weren't home.
Well, I'm just telling you what's going through my head. They're eating dinner while they know you're up in the attic, and you fall through the attic, then through the first floor, and then through the kitchen table, and they're just still sitting there in their chairs.
It was like
in a seat.
It was like a cathedral ceiling, so I fell all the way to the ground floor. There was nothing. I fell basically 2 stories on my head and landed on a concrete floor right in the foyer.
So you have dead head now, like your
Was
dead
that a
foot?
foyer or a foyer?
That's how I got this.
You got an eyebrow from that?
You see the scar on my eyebrow?
No, I've never noticed it.
You don't see it?
No.
Like, look here. Like
I just thought you trimmed your eyebrows that way.
You see the scar?
I do see it now.
So what happened was I must have hit the chandelier. Imagine Mick Foley getting thrown off the cell. That's what it looked like.
You caught the chandelier with your face?
And so apparently when I woke up, I swear that this is not a lie, I remember I heard that call from Jim Ross going, my God, they killed him. And I laughed and I went, oh, my fucking head. And I was bleeding all over. I have a picture of it somewhere. And I called my mom and I was like, I think I went through your ceiling. She's like, what? So she comes and freaks out and everything else and blah, blah, blah. And I went to work. They came and got me, and it was a big fucking mess. But
it's not a good feeling getting your bell rung. I remember the first time I really got mine done was
bad.
I was hanging out with my friend Eric Cochran and my friend Tim Alvey. And Tim had been taking karate for probably like 2 years. And he gives me those like red plastic gloves and the foot pieces as well. And he's like, let's spar. I'm like, okay. Right? Are you with me here?
Yeah.
Can you put that down?
No.
So he's like, let's spar. I'm like, all right, cool. So we stand there, and his first technique, head kick.
Oh, no.
It just fucking knocks me the fuck out. I fall and hit my head off. Why is everybody on their phones? It knocks me out. I fall down on the concrete, totally unconscious, wake up like 5 minutes later. And nobody's even concerned that I might be unconscious.
Did you see remember Gary Goodridge? Big Daddy Gary Goodridge?
Yes.
Fought in Pride and fought in the UFC. Had that famous thing where the guy crucifix and elbowed the guy almost to death. He's had a lot of public battles with CTE. And he went on Twitter recently, like a couple weeks ago, and was just like, you know, I'm really sorry to everybody. He's like, I'm not the guy that I used to be. He goes, I left a very important part of myself in that ring, and I'm really trying. I'm really struggling here. and like I'm really sorry. And he's like, it sucks, and it's scary. Like when you see that shit, where, you know, remember when Chuck Liddell was slurring his words not too long ago? Now how
Chuck
much
seems like he's back to normal.
How much
now.
of that was partying and
There's
everything
probably
else?
a shitload of it.
But you know, I watch fighters sometimes now, and like you see these guys like with the chin first defense. You know what I mean? And I just worry. I worry, like, man, we're going to see these guys, and because MMA is still relatively a newer
But
sport.
you know what? Part of that is they signed up for it, right? Right?
Yeah.
Like if you're signing up for somebody to punch you in the face or kick you in the head or
Yeah.
do something, the whole point of it is do something bad to each other's bodies,
That's true.
right?
Who do you think in the UFC roster right now is, or who was on the UFC roster, is going to be having real bad problems with CTE?
Hunt.
Oh, probably Robbie Lawler or
Lawler for sure.
Who's the dude he had the battle with? He's in Bellator now.
Oh, the Red King.
Yeah, but there's so many times where like in my life I've had my bell rung and like I don't even think about it, you know.
Yeah, you should.
And yeah, but most people don't put any consideration into it as long as you wake up and you're still moving. Like what besides the dead foot and the dead head, like what's the worst injury that you've had or just shit that happened to you? You ever been in a good car accident?
Hell yeah. Went through the windshield.
Did you really?
Through it?
Yeah.
Were you in the back seat?
I was in the front.
Seatbelt on?
Yeah.
And you went, how long ago was that?
Oh, God.
Driving?
I was stopped at a red light, and a chick hit me about like 40 miles an hour from
behind.
Yeah.
Wait, you had your seatbelt on? You still went through the windshield?
My head cracked through the
okay.
windshield.
Okay, but you didn't go your entire body and like land on the hood.
No, it wasn't like anything like that, but my head gave it a good fucking crack.
Is that before airbags?
Yeah, I didn't have airbags in the car.
Like think about life before airbags. Pretty dangerous.
That's pretty bad.
Like,
Well, airbags can kill you too.
Oh yeah, but I remember I got in an accident in Egg Harbor, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Right? Texting. Looked down for a second, ran right into the back of a big Suburban.
I bet you they were
Right?
pissed.
No, it didn't even damage the guy's car, but my car went under, airbag came off, blew me back, hands went flying out.
I
Right?
wish I could have seen that.
Car filled with smoke, right? Because you got all the powder that's in with the airbag.
Yeah.
I'm rattled, right? I step out of the car, over the yellow line and stand in traffic.
Oh, shit.
Like I was rattled. I just stepped out of the car and stepped across the line into oncoming traffic.
You dumbass.
And the dude swerved and almost hit me.
Oh, man.
But that's like a bad thing. Like I've had so many opportunities to die that when I look back, I'm like, I'm surprised I'm still here. I mean, you like with your girth falling through a cathedral ceiling. Were you a big man at the time? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm. This guy right here. So that's the game we're gonna play, huh?
No, I'm just curious.
That's
Like
the
how
game we're
did
gonna
you
play.
not break your neck?
The doctor didn't know either.
Did you ruin the chandelier with your face?
Yeah.
Did you pay for it?
The Comcast did.
Oh, so you were on the clock at your parents' house?
Yeah.
Did you just happen to get the luck of the draw to go fix?
Pretty much.
So let me ask you this question, and then you can answer in a second. So if you had broke the chandelier on your own time, would you have paid to replace it?
Oh, yeah.
One time.
My mom was like, yo,
Todd knows exactly where I'm
This is
going.
a true story. This is a true story. When I left, my mom actually called and goes, well, that's all great and all, but is it that I going to finish this fucking work here?
Had watch her soaps.
And had another fucking tech come and finish the job. And he's like, dude, your parents are hardcore.
He's pulling cable across you and all that shit.
I swear to God.
Like Todd went over my mom's house one time to help her hang a TV. Right? Brand new TV. Probably
It
what?
wasn't brand new.
It was brand new right out of the box.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. I was hanging it for her.
Okay.
She had the TV.
How long did she have the TV?
Probably a year.
Okay, so pretty new TV.
Did
Right?
you forget to plug something in like he did our audio?
No, he broke the screen.
Oh, no.
And guess who bought a new TV?
You did.
No, my mom had to buy a new TV because he didn't even fucking care.
Hold on. She was asking me to do her a favor. I'm sorry it didn't go well. That's not on me.
Wow.
How did you break it?
I put my knee through it.
Okay.
So then it's on you.
No.
It's not. How is that not?
She wasn't paying me.
I've never.
She wasn't paying me for a job.
I've never understood how he did not take any response.
Wait a minute.
Where was the
you're-
TV
you're-
when you put your knee through it?
Yeah.
So I put the TV down,
Okay.
and I had it leaning against the couch,
Okay.
but it was too much of an angle.
So then it's
So-
on you.
So I wanted to nudge it so that it would tilt up a little bit more.
And you fucking need it like Anderson Silva?
No, I gave it a slight knee.
So you gave it a Muay Thai knee to the front of it and broke the screen.
Then that's the definition of on you.
Yeah. If you hung it on the wall and it didn't hang right,
No,
and it fell.
The definition would be,
And then
"Hey, Mom, can I borrow your TV?" And then while I have her TV, I break it.
No.
no.
But if
No.
I'm doing you a favor,
yeah, some favor you did her.
hey, Todd, go wash my car. Oh, dude, I just accidentally backed it in. Sorry.
I cannot believe that you're not going to take ownership of
Did
you
Mom
breaking
put
her
the TV against the couch on the bad angle?
That's fucked up.
Was that you?
Yeah.
After your bad placement of the TV and it started to fall, who threw the knee to stop it from falling?
It wasn't falling. I was about to do something and I didn't like the angle it was at.
Apparently you didn't like the TV either.
I wanted to give it a nudge.
How much was the TV at the time? I know how much.
$100?
It was like $700.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
Yes,
You're
it was.
so
This
full
is
of
when
shit.
big screens
No, they weren't.
were still expensive.
No, they weren't.
You know, man, you're like
This was-
school in
this
the
was-
summertime. No class.
This was a 32-inch TV that probably was $300.
Okay, so
So you couldn't give your mom the $300? You didn't feel
an
bad?
old woman.
No charge on the hanging.
Did you hang it still?
I hanged the next TV she bought.
I wouldn't even fucking let you go anywhere near my TVs after that shit.
So I've always been amazed that he takes zero responsibility in that.
Unreal. Unreal.
So let me ask you a question. If you paid a guy to come to your house to hang a TV and he broke it,
That's on him. I paid for a service.
Okay, wait a minute. So if you had Chris,
I paid for the service.
if Chris came over to help you hang a TV and broke it,
I don't have to pay for it.
he don't have to pay for it. You wouldn't be like, "What the
If
fuck?"
you asked me to carry something, let's say you had a big glass china cabinet, right? You're moving it from outside to inside. Hold on. And you say, Chris, can you help me carry this in? And I come over, and it starts to fall, and I do something fucked up to make it
He
broken.
throws like a super kick at it and goes, "I didn't like the angle. It was gonna fall," and then goes, "Well, you didn't pay me, so it's on you."
So I don't have to do anything.
There's a difference between intentionally doing something.
No, I'm
and-
helping you when it happens by accident.
by accident. No, how can I make you do?
Oh,
any of that?
I call bullshit on this.
But if I have something in my hands and you fake throw a punch at me and I drop it,
But
you'll be like, "Dude, it was an accident." No, it wasn't an accident because you fucked with me.
You and I are carrying something, or you just asked me to, hey, can you get
can't
that?
believe you.
If you're moving
I
into a
can't
new
believe
house,
you.
right?
You
And
didn't even offer?
No, he didn't. And you say,
Holy shit.
Bullet, if you asked me to come over and you're just moving into a new house, right? You're moving into an apartment, right? And everybody's carrying your shit in.
Uh-huh.
And I'm carrying your TV all on my own.
Yeah.
Right? Just me carrying the TV. And I lose my balance. And instead of me falling off a curb, I throw the TV down and break it. Right?
Yeah.
You're out of luck because you fucking asked me to come over.
I didn't pay for that kind of service. That's unbelievable.
You're so full of shit. If he was helping you bring stuff into your house because you were moving,
Yeah.
and he accidentally broke your TV,
Yeah.
he's not paying for it.
He should at least offer.
He fucking ain't gonna offer.
If I did something
You know what
to
he'd
break
be?
the TV,
He's like the old guy from Christmas Vacation, where he's like, "That was a shitty tree anyway." That's the thing he would say, "Dude, that was a piece of shit TV anyway."
I can't believe how you're trying, and it's very clever subterfuge, may I add, that you're trying to deflect to your brother here. I mean,
it is clever subterfuge.
that is horrible. That is horrible.
I felt no guilt.
Like zero.
Do you have a bad relationship with your mother?
No.
Really?
I come over and I fix all her shit.
He does fix all of her shit. But he's also the
So
guy.
so you have a little bit of resentment built up.
He
for
broke
about
my
it.
projector last summer.
I did not. This fucking guy.
Didn't I'm in. It's
We
working.
need you on camera for this one. Put yourself on camera.
It's,
You guys need to
it's
work this
working.
out.
I go in the house. I come back out 2 seconds
Put
later.
yourself on camera, please.
I come back outside 2 minutes later. All of a sudden, it doesn't work, and the part where the USB goes in to charge it is all jammed in there and broken.
Now, what's interesting is, why was it not working anymore? Because it had no power, right?
It was
So
on.
if it was plugged in and charging, why the fuck
It
was
wasn't
it
plugged
shutting
in.
off then? No, it wasn't in.
Was not
you
plugged
fucking
in.
broke it.
was not plugged in. He did not offer to buy another projector for me.
Yeah, here's Chris and that projector. That's a $300 projector. How much did you really spend? $150. No, how much did you really spend? $68.
No, it was a $200 projector.
It was not.
Yes, it was.
Show me the receipt.
It was a Mirror, M-I-R-O-I-R.
Don't show me MSRP.
If I show you the receipt, you're going to pay for it?
No, because I didn't break it. But I want to prove to you that it was not $200.
Do you think you broke it?
No.
You had
I can
anything
see
to do
you
with it?
totally. I can see you though totally lying about the cost of it and telling.
Oh, I've done that for sure. But he definitely broke it.
No.
This is awesome.
It started to fall at a weird angle,
I love watching.
and
you
I
two
saw
fucking
him.
go
I
at
saw
it.
him throw a knee into it.
My son was over the one day.
Oh, here we're digging deep now.
He sits down on a bar stool, right? Puts his feet up here, right? And all of a sudden it breaks. He starts flipping the fuck out, right? I go over to look at the bar stool. It was held together with tape.
And they painted over it.
But
He pulled a Tommy boy on you.
He's yelling at my
He
kid.
pulled a Tommy
"You
boy.
fucking broke it.
What did you do? I love watching you two fight. It's the
that
best.
story's definitely true.
That's like the one time when you guys were looking for the camera mounts that he gave me while he was drunk the week before and forgot all about it. And I watched you two fight for a good 40 minutes and just laughed, sat back.
Realizing that you had done all the
I knew
damage.
from jump that I had them.
So if Todd shows up to your house to help you with something,
He's not going to mount any goddamn TVs.
and he sees something at an angle he does not like,
He's going to just throw a fucking knee at it.
and he drills it with his knee,
Fucking
he's not responsible.
fucking Master Toddy over here.
Todd should be in the UFC
He should
with
be.
those knees.
He should.
Speaking of the UFC, did you see all the fights last weekend?
Yeah, I saw them. I saw them on Mobdro.
What?
Mobdro.
That's
Mobdro.
It's an app.
Oh,
New app.
is that like Mowbray? Somewhere like that?
No, I think he's right. Mod bro.
Mod Bro?
MODBRO.
Mobdro.
Is that a Mod Bro?
Yeah, Mobdro.
I thought it was
M-O-B-D-R-O.
MOBRY.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and you
It's
saw he's
MODBRO. Mod
Mobdro.
bro.
Mod Bro. Bro, Mod Bro. Bro, Mod
Yeah. Anyway,
Bro.
it's yeah, I saw it on that, and
Let's talk about
fuck you, Dana White.
No,
Todd-
it's Mob Bedro.
Mod Bedro. Mod Bedro. So
Worked like a charm.
I didn't think I definitely wasn't a card I was paying for after Conor McGregor ruined half the fights.
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson dropped out. Holloway didn't make weight, and then Al Iaquinta steps in to
It just
fight
goes.
for the championship, ranked number
11.
11 versus number 1.
It goes.
Which had hats off to him for.
I thought he did fucking fantastic on short notice, and he exposed Khabib.
He didn't expose him.
You don't
Oh,
think
he
he
did.
exposed Khabib?
No. Did you think that Khabib was a world class?
Before
striker?
Khabib was on the level of Fedor, where everybody's thinking this dude can't be touched.
No, they're two totally different fighters.
I'm not saying their styles or anything like that. It has nothing to do with their style of fighting. It's the aura around them. Kind of like there was an aura around who's the dude that Conor knocked out with the one punch?
Oh, Jose Aldo.
Yeah, Jose Aldo. Right? Some guys there's an aura around. Like Chuck Liddell had an aura until people started figuring out how to tag him.
I would maybe there was a bit of an aura around him, but I don't.
Anderson
think that
Silva had an aura.
I don't think he got exposed. I think that he beat up on a guy for the first part of the fight, didn't finish him.
Did you watch the whole fight?
Yeah, got a little bit tired. Chose to stand up with a guy, but he still won. I don't. Did you see the fight stats?
Did he?
Did
but
you
has
see-
he
hold on.
fought- Has he fought anybody in the top 5? Really?
Here's what I saw.
Did you see the fight metrics?
I did not see the fight metrics.
It's pretty goddamn lopsided. The number of punches he landed compared to the number of
Yeah, there was a lot in the first 2 rounds.
yeah.
So here's what I saw. I saw a guy that took a guy down who was worried about being taken down. As he was there punching the guy, Iaquinta got up every fucking time. Right?
I'm pulling the fight.
Khabib did not do a good job of keeping him down, which is his big MO. Like he's a ground and pound specialist.
Yeah, but you got to remember too that he wasn't planning to fight this guy. He was planning the fight.
It doesn't matter. He's the number 1 guy.
What do you think he does?
If he got him
against-
on the ground, why can't he keep him down if he can hold all the other guys down?
What do you think he does against a good wrestler who also can punch? Like Alvarez.
I don't know.
They're fighting at 155 or 145?
155.
Chad Mendez.
He's never gonna fight again. He got suspended for
Yeah, like a
for
year
a
ago.
year.
But Chad Mendez has good hands, and he's a good wrestler. Do you think Khabib stands a chance against him?
And how about Ferguson's groundwork? He's on the ground. He's nuts on the ground.
Yeah, Ferguson's good. I saw him take Iaquinta down, throw a lot of punches him. Iaquinta get up every time in the first round. Didn't get really put in any bad submission opportunities. Then I saw the second round, similar events happen. Third round, Iaquinta started faking for the takedown,
which was weird.
Which totally threw Khabib off. Iaquinta's got a wrestling background. He's a strong wrestler.
I don't think that Khabib got exposed in my eyes because I never considered him to be a world-class striker. And
right, but you put him. He was up against a good wrestler.
Styles make fights.
You put him up against a guy who's a great wrestler, and what happens?
I don't know. I mean, it could play into his game.
Ferguson was a high-level wrestler.
It could play into his game.
And he's got hands.
And he's got good hands.
We won't know till the. I mean, I guess we'll never know
By
that fight.
Third, fourth, and fifth rounds, Iaquinta wasn't getting taken down at all.
I still didn't have Khabib in trouble in any minute of that fight.
I'm not even saying that, but there's guys that are much higher skill than Iaquinta.
Well, then maybe they won't be so afraid and stop ducking him.
Who was ducking him?
I'm not saying that he was ducked in this fight, but Khabib was a guy that nobody really wanted to fight.
Right, but now I think a lot of people will want to fight him.
And that's good.
Yeah, but he was always getting hurt, too. I mean, he was so inconsistent.
He has trouble making weight.
Well, that's his camp.
Okay, so...
That's his camp.
So
that's not so much him. That's his camp.
His hands are not that great, right?
They're not horrible.
They're not the best, right?
Correct. But we already knew that going in.
Okay, now we're seeing a guy who was a decent wrestler stuff him.
I think...
And not get taken down.
Here's the only thing that was eye-opening to me. I never thought that he was a world-class striker in any stretch of the imagination. He did what he always does to people in the first two rounds, maul them. The only thing that was eye-opening was, okay, he didn't finish this guy in the first two rounds. What happens after that? And we found out. But he still won.
Oh, there's no doubt. But he
there's no question.
He beat up a guy on a day notice.
No. Stop that right now.
Iaquinta was already preparing for a fight.
He already had a full fight.
Not for him.
But you just said the same go in the opposite direction. Like, oh, Khabib wasn't ready for him.
I'm talking about from a cardio standpoint. Don't.
Both of them should have been ready cardio-wise.
They were.
All right, that's a good point. Iaquinta wasn't planning on fighting 5 rounds. He was a 3-round fight. So if you're going to go down that road,
I guess. Okay.
And he got better in the third, fourth, and fifth rounds.
Yeah. All right. That is telling.
So all right. So
that's surprising. I never thought of it like that. That's a good point.
You know what? I feel like Todd just needs you in your screen and broke your will.
It's a good thing that he plugged that in, so now everybody could have heard that point that he made.
Now we're going to unplug.
So
that is very true, though. I didn't even think of that because who is he? Who is
He's supposed to fight Felder.
Yeah, Paul Felder.
Felder. Who were the top 5 guys in that division?
Who was going to be that was going to be an all strike fight.
That was going to be a good one.
All right, so top 5 guys in division. You got Ferguson, Holloway,
Eddie.
Khabib at number 1, Eddie Alvarez, and Conor.
In that division or just the lightweight division in any promotion?
That division in the UFC.
Oh, okay.
People he'd fight.
I don't see Khabib beating any of those guys. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see he could.
I could see him.
I can tell you if it was a round robin where he was going to fight all 5 of them, I think he's walking out there 2-3.
You think he beats Eddie?
No.
Do you think he beats Ferguson?
Yes.
Do you think he beats Conor? I think he gets lit up on his feet before it gets anywhere.
I think Conor has. I mean, here's the thing: Khabib is very hittable early on, and a guy like Conor.
Put his lights out.
But then, I think so much with Conor. It's so much of a circus and a show that would he, a big part of his game is to get people fighting angry and doing stupid things. I mean, look what he did to Eddie. He had Eddie fighting a fight that wasn't his. I don't know. People really don't think that Conor's got heavy hands. Speaking about Conor with that whole debacle, if that was any other fighter, if that was fucking, I don't know, if that was Dos Anjos, if that was Wilson, if that was anybody, they would be fired and gone. They'd be banned for life. I mean, fuck, Paul Daly still hasn't come back to the UFC because he threw a punch after the bell.
Who was that against, too? That was...
Koscheck.
Koscheck, okay. Just
Right.
a quick cheap shot after.
Yeah, because Koscheck flipped him off after the fight was over.
But it wasn't in the cage.
It was in the cage.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
it
about
was.
Connor.
Yeah, no, but what I mean is that if that was anybody else, they would be done. But yet you watch UFC Embedded, and they're broadcasting it there, right? The next person he fights, that will be featured heavily in the buildup of the fight. And, you know, they can say, oh, it's the most disgusting thing that's ever happened in the UFC. Yet they're going to reward him with a multi-million-dollar fight.
I wouldn't
by
want
the
to
end of
look
the
at
year.
it as a reward. You have to realize in life is not fair.
Sure. But what I'm saying is it's the double standard in the UFC. And I want to just call out Uncle Dana for his hypocrisy. Although, I believe I got worked by Uncle Dana.
How? I had a lot of people reach out to me and say that WrestleMania was not ruined by you.
Yes. Yeah. How about
Or
it
by
was
Dana.
ruined?
Well, I believe because he was there.
He was going to lose,
He was there.
which he won.
Okay.
So nothing what you said happened.
And nothing was ruined for anybody
First of
besides
all-
you.
First of all, shut your mouth when I'm talking. All right. He has worked with WWE before. He was there to support Ronda. We'll talk more about WrestleMania in a couple
Well, we're already
minutes.
in there right now.
Well, here's the thing. Just things about WrestleMania. Just some takeaways. Number one.
No. Let's stay
seven,
on the
I'm
topic
gonna.
we were
gonna.
just talking
I'm just gonna
about.
get to that. So shut up.
Don't give me anything else from it. We want to talk about how it was ruined.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about the whole goddamn thing.
no,
7
I
hours.
got multiple texts.
7 hours. Way too long. Way too long.
how
of
long
a
was it?
fucking
We're
show.
already
was it?
off the topic.
How long was it?
7 hours.
7 hours.
Yes, including the 2-hour pre-show where they had matches, 7 hours. Now, Dana went and said Brock Lesnar will be back, and it set off a firestorm.
Why
with
did
pro
that
wrestling
set off a
fans.
firestorm? I still don't understand.
Because he potentially gave away the finish to the main event.
But
And
he
it
didn't.
basically takes away any drama of it.
All right, well, let me ask you a question.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Hold on, can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Was Brock Lesnar never, ever intending of wrestling again?
Well,
Because
people-
that's your point. Like, oh,
No.
when you leave, you give it
This-
away.
this
If
is-
he's coming back, and he'll give it away.
This is why. Lesnar at WrestleMania 20 wrestled Goldberg at Madison Square Garden. Everybody knew that both those guys were leaving, and the fans turned on them and hijacked the match and just booed them out of the building.
Who's this?
This is when Lesnar wrestled Goldberg back at WrestleMania 20. That was
Okay.
like 14 years ago.
Gotcha. Did
Fa-
Dana ruin that one?
Fans, no. But this match, the WWE for the past 4 years has been trying to make Roman Reigns their top guy, and it's been failing.
It's just not happening.
It's just not happening
He
for
doesn't
4 years,
have no personality.
right? That's not that. It's just there's a number
All right,
of reasons.
let's-
But in
all
any
right, we'll
case,
come back.
so he comes out and says, "Yeah, Brock Lesnar's coming back." So fans knew that his contract was going to be up, and okay, so is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Like, what's he going to do? And Dana White's just like, "Yep, he's coming back to the UFC." So in my eyes as a fan, I'm like, well, fuck it. I already know the ending of this match.
Why do you know the ending, though?
Because if his contract's up and he's coming to the UFC,
But you said last week that if a guy, you go out by giving it to the next guy.
yes.
So Lesnar's never planning on going back to
But
the WWE.
if you already know the finish of the match,
Which
Or
you
you
were
think you do.
which you were wrong.
yeah. If you
so
think
you didn't
do-
know.
I think they changed it.
But
Oh.
I think they pulled a
I like
swerve.
the conspiracy there.
I think they were basically like, well, look, we have to do something here because these fans are going to just boo the shit out of it. And
Didn't they anyway?
those fans, it was an audible pop. It wasn't like, oh, fuck, he won. Or it wasn't met with indifference. They popped. That was a babyface pop when Lesnar won.
does that mean it's good?
Yeah, they were.
I just need a little translation
Yeah.
sometimes.
Did I hear the match sucked?
Yeah, because they do the same thing, and at one point, see, WWE's PG.
But
There's no
let's-
blood. He basically got juice hard way.
So we never
He
finished
threw
about
he threw like
Dana.
He threw legit elbows. Dana White was in the audience to
Right.
support Ronda Rousey, who did magnificent.
I can't tell you how many texts I had about the Lesnar statement that you had, though.
From who?
Oh, just a bunch of people.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
they're idiots.
Maybe it's you.
No,
Case closed.
They're idiots.
I'm putting my knee through that.
Todd's knee endorsed.
Did you guys see Rousey's match?
No.
No,
I
I
didn't
saw
watch
highlights.
any of that
I
shit.
was actually surprised that she was actually.
I love this guy. No,
I'll watch
I
it
don't
later.
watch that.
I actually
forgot.
watched some
It
of
was amazing. It was amazing.
Isn't she a little small though, like for the division?
No,
Did she work the mic?
no, she's horrible on the mic. And
She needs Paul Heyman. Like,
And there
like,
was- yeah,
'cause
she does.
Lesnar's terrible on
and
the mic.
and there was a couple things that you know, if you're going to nitpick, like, okay, she's coming out to this big fight and she's smiling. Like, what the fuck?
She's excited to be there.
There is a genuine excitement, just like you said, for her to be there. And I think the thing is that this, in many ways, was a real test for her. She had those 2 losses.
Did she have the Rowdy Piper gear on?
Yeah,
The
she had
big
that.
jacket, the oversized jacket,
And the
or
other
she
thing,
have
she
one that
got
fits
smaller
now?
ones.
Whatever
Smaller
top was, she kept playing with it.
Yeah.
That
But
was
the
annoying.
thing about it
Do you
is,
think Roddy would be upset that she's just stealing his
No, 'cause
gimmick?
he was fine.
No, he loved her.
He loved it.
No, he liked it when she was in the UFC.
Maybe.
no, he
Maybe.
loved her. Like, he had her on his podcast.
Right, but did he say, "Hey, come to the WWE and steal my gimmick"?
No, he. Well,
Well,
first
maybe
of all,
that's
when
keeping-
she was
maybe that's keeping
when
him
she
alive.
was
Maybe.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey in the UFC, they talked about it. Judo Jean LaBelle was one of her
I know
cornermen.
that.
Roddy Piper was a Judo Jean LaBelle black belt, so that was their connection. Also in the stunt world and whatnot. But she said when she
What is the whatnot?
when she wanted to become have that Rowdy Ronda Rousey, she asked him, "Can I use that?" Respectfully, you know, can I use that? And he said, "Yeah." He thought of her like a daughter. That oversized jacket you're talking about, that was Roddy Piper's son flew out to Philly to give that to her. That was Roddy's
Okay,
jacket.
no, I get
Wait,
that.
Was WrestleMania in Philly?
No. I'm saying at the Royal Rumble when she debuted at the end, she had that big oversized jacket that it made her look like a little kid. That was Roddy's actual jacket. She actually has a smaller one that's styled like it. But at the end of the day, there's a couple things.
She wearing a kilt too?
Which came out, she did. But she's
Irish
in a,
music?
No, she comes out to Bad
Bagpipes?
Reputation.
Okay.
She's an Olympic athlete, and once the bell rang, you were quickly reminded of it, and just her sense of timing, her athleticism.
Who did she wrestle?
It was Stephanie, and Stephanie was really probably the most surprising of it, how she stepped her game up. She was great.
Did her brother fight at any point on the card?
Yeah, earlier on.
Did he do anything crazy?
No, he's
Not
still,
doing it anymore.
he had diverticulitis. Well, fuck, last year he jumped off the Hell in a Cell.
That's why I
No,
know.
he had
always does something
diverticulitis.
crazy.
As much money as that guy's got, like
But he
brings it.
she really, really silenced a lot of critics and a lot of people.
I thought she was going to be stiff as a board.
I thought she was going to be not good at all. And from bell to bell, yeah, there was a couple things they flubbed, but she was amazing. And Triple H worked his ass off to make her look like $1 million. Stephanie did as well. That was really, really cool. The other thing what was really cool on that card is, yes, pro wrestling is scripted and all, but the cool thing about it is they have things where there's real world stuff. Like Daniel Bryan hasn't wrestled in over 3 years.
I don't know who he is.
He's a wrestler. He's a started from the indies, worked his way up, and the fans picked him. That's our guy. They hijacked episodes of Raw that wouldn't stop the yes chant. Yes, right. That's all Daniel Bryan. He main evented WrestleMania 30 4 years ago in New Orleans. He got a series of concussions, and basically
From Facebook?
yeah, from Facebook, right? But they said you have to retire due to medical reasons, and he never gave up on it. He went to all these alternative treatments, hyperbaric air chambers that sleeping in, did all this stuff, and went to every specialist that he could to get cleared. And the WWE was like, "Nope, we're not going to clear you." They kept reviewing his case. He never stopped trying to get cleared, and he got cleared.
Is that one of those things where you just keep finding another doctor until the guy says you're okay?
No. They are, as a publicly traded company, they are not going to have a guy.
But I feel like
He's probably, his brain, in terms of like CTE or concussions, is probably the healthiest in that locker room right now.
I feel like though if he were to come out next week and have an accident.
No, he undergoes CTE protocols and concussion protocols after every match.
I get that, but I feel
Every
like
match.
if he had an accident and had a concussion and died from some sort of injury.
That's why they don't want him to do it.
Can I finish saying?
Yeah.
You would be the first guy up in arms. Like, how the fuck did he get back in there? I can't believe all the wrestling fans had to go through this.
No.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well,
and whatnot.
There was
and
a
so on.
really good moment, though, when he finally got tagged in that fucking ring. He got in that fucking ring, dude, and that crowd went nuts. And you could see it. There was a genuine, say what you will about wrestling. You have 83,000 fans fucking going.
What does that mean? He got tagged.
Like, Shane tagged him. He was in a tag match.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah, he was
I
out
thought
in the
he was
apron
going
for a while.
against Shane.
Yeah, no.
Who was their opponents?
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which guys he came up with the indies with, so I'm sure they, he trusts those guys. So that's the whole thing.
They kayfabed him, you think?
Don't start with that shit. So we got
Was Undertaker in it?
Yeah, short match. Only like
How old is he looking?
He looked a lot better this year because he had his he had a hip replacement, so he could.
I thought he had cancer before.
No, he could move around a lot better. But it was a short match. They played all the hits.
Who did he go against with?
Cena.
Okay, did he walk the ropes?
Yep, he did old school. Yeah.
Did he sit up after being knocked down?
Yeah, he's Cena.
That never gets old.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Who won?
The Undertaker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who did you watch it with?
I had my cousin over, some of my bandmates over.
How many people?
Yeah, like 4 or 5. My brother dropped by.
You don't know if
afterwards.
it's 4 or 5?
I'd say, let me see. Big Dick Nick, Jordan was there. Cousin Scott, his son Jeremy. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sharon. There's like a handful of people.
And
like
this is
5,
at your
6.
apartment?
Yeah, and then there was
Did people bring
coming.
snacks?
No, I told they didn't have to.
Did you provide snacks?
I did. And if you would have come over, you could have had some.
I was in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, too bad. Well, if
What
Toddy
kind of
could have come
snacks
over.
were provided at your Bullet Wrestling party?
I had some potato chips. I had some tortilla chips, and I had some potato chips, and I had cans of soda, bottles of water, and some Snapple.
Were the cans cold?
Yeah, in the refrigerator.
Did you have any hot snacks? Anything that didn't come in a bag?
Well, at that point, everybody was free to order their food. Some people did, and then some of them went to the Wawa.
I picture everybody sitting here watching the fights, and then Bullet rings a little bell. You are now free to order your own food.
No, I said because it was like we didn't know when people were going to come over. I said the show starts at 5. You can all come over.
But you weren't providing any hot food.
Why I'm providing the pay-per-view, the ambiance, and
Did you pay for the pay-per-view, or was it on your Mod Bro?
It was on the WWE Network.
Yeah,
which
you
I
had
paid,
that, right?
Yeah, $9.99 a month.
So for your $9.99, nobody got a hot food or hot snack?
They got
Like there was no wings served?
no. I wasn't gonna.
There was no pizza served?
no.
There was. You had to think about that one.
No, I was still thinking about that.
Was there pizza?
It was a crazy
Was
night.
it? Was there any appetizers?
Jaeger shots.
Did you have dip? Was there any dips for the chips?
No, I don't
Was
do
it
dips.
BYOD?
Yeah,
Bring
No
your own
salsa?
dip?
No salsa?
No
for the
salsa?
tortilla?
I did have it, but no one asked for it. So we got a UFC this weekend.
I don't know. I want to hear more about the Bullet Wrestling Party still. So I've been to your house a few times, right? You have the leather couch.
It's got a cover on it now.
It's got a lot of fucking bullet miles on it, right?
No, I don't do any fucking on that couch.
Have you ever jerked off on that couch?
On it?
Yeah.
No.
Not onto it, like sitting on it and jerked off. Yes? Right?
There's a bear shit in the woods.
Have you were you fully clothed at the time? Or was your ass cheeks on the couch?
How would you be fully clothed and jerk off?
Well, you could just
You
have
just
it coming
pull
through
the pants
like
down,
your-
undo the zipper.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So-
I wouldn't have my bare ass on that couch.
So I feel like
somebody's laying down on
I'm
the
just
couch.
curious what people were sitting in when they were sitting on your couch. So
A clean
so
cover.
In your living room, you have the couch which holds 3 people.
So there's a UFC this weekend.
Was it a bring your own chair party too?
No, I didn't even get to sit on a fucking chair.
Where'd you sit?
I had to stand for part of it.
How about Nick Diaz getting reinstated?
He got reinstated.
Yeah.
You can't let me just rip work him for a minute.
When's the last time he
Oh, you
fought
suck.
like that?
Todd just need me in the glass.
He did. Did he? When's the last time Nick Diaz has even fought? Was it Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz?
Nick.
Wow. I guess what? I don't give a shit. I don't really care.
All right.
He hasn't fought. When's the last time he fought? Like 4 years ago.
Nick
He's
Diaz?
he's an interesting guy to watch fight, though.
He's a character.
When's the last time he won a fight?
If Nick Diaz was having a fight, would you have a bunch of people over to your house
No.
and serve them chips only?
No.
Would there be more snacks?
No. I could do like a crisp party where I don't offer anything.
I offer stuff.
What do you offer?
I'll offer cheese and meats. I'll also offer chips and dip. And a lot of times I'll offer the beer as well.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he, doesn't
I
wa-
won't buy a hoagie, though. I won't buy one of those, like, 6-foot hoagies for everybody.
Oh,
Fuck
that's a
that.
good time.
he didn't win his last 3 fights, but they were against Carlos Condit, George St. Pierre, and Anderson Silva.
When's the last time he won?
It would be BJ Penn,
What date was that?
2011.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the last time.
shit.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
the last time
Last time he
Diaz
won.
won?
Yeah,
Really?
2015 is his last fight.
2015.
And he didn't win any fights during that.
He hasn't won a fight since 2011.
So why does anybody give a fuck about him?
Thank you very much. And fuck his.
But he only fought 3 times during that time.
How about Nate?
Nate.
Who's got the better record out of the two brothers?
Probably Nick.
Nick is 26 and 9.
Okay. I feel like Nate might have a better
Well, Nick
record.
Diaz also has title belts.
That's true.
You know, he had title belts in Elite
Do
XC
you
and
think
Strikeforce.
if Nick Diaz was having people over for a WWE WrestleMania party, there would be hot hors d'oeuvres?
I know there'd be a lot of marijuana there.
There'd definitely be a lot of marijuana. But would there be
Nate
hot
Diaz
food?
is 21 and 10.
Okay. So they're similar. So
No, they're not similar. Nick Diaz is
23
a
and
former
9
two-time
and
world
21
champion.
and 10.
Nick Diaz is a former 2-time world champion
Strikeforce?
and Elite XC.
Not UFC.
Doesn't matter. He's still a world champion.
So if a guy wins...
Are you saying that people with Elite XC world titles aren't former world champions?
I know where you're going with it. Cause
You see how fast he backed out of that?
if a guy wins a Pennsylvania wrestling championship, is he on the same caliber as a Brock Lesnar? Silence.
I don't understand the
Yeah, I'm not
question.
getting
No, you're just saying, okay, a guy has a title, but
No, he doesn't have a title. He had a world title on a big organization that was a world-known organization that had top 10 talent in it. He was a world champion.
so is it
Don't be a fucking
is
UFC
it-
fanboy and be like, it's not
is
a
it-
UFC belt, then it doesn't mean shit.
is a TNT champion as good as a WWE champion?
You don't think Michael Chandler could... Okay, hold on.
Do you compare
Eddie
them?
Eddie Alvarez was a fucking Bellator champion. He was never a world champion until he was a UFC champion?
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I want to get the comparison to what you're comparing, like how you'd lump your guys together. I know you like to stack them.
I don't even know what that means.
Todd Hunters. How do you like to lump your men together? So when a guy wins a title somewhere,
You know goddamn well that there's different levels of shit. A guy who's
Well, that's what I'm
fighting
getting
on fucking Axis TV or some of these smaller regional promotions like a fucking, let's just give an example, an XCC. They're pulling big talent, but they're not pulling talent from what would be considered like the press's top 10.
do you take offense when somebody says they're a world champion or something if it's not like a world contested thing?
You don't think Strikeforce has world talent or had, or you
not
don't think
saying that.
Bellator does?
So in the WWE, isn't there a universal champion?
He's on other planets defending it.
That's what I'm
People want to
asking.
know why Brock Lesnar is only like in WWE like once every couple months. Hello, universal title. He's on Jupiter,
He just came from Uranus.
right?
So is the world title more important than the universal title?
Not the way that they have it booked. I think
So in your mind, which one's the more important title? If you're fighting other galaxies,
historically,
I
mean,
guess if you're just in this universe, you're not in other
the
galaxies.
wrestling purist in me would say that the WWE title means more because of the lineage that it has. It goes all the way back to Buddy Rogers.
Who's the first universal champion?
The first one was Finn Balor.
And then?
Well, he had to relinquish the title the very next day.
And who'd it go to?
It went to...
Too much.
Let me see here. It went to Kevin Owens.
Okay, and then after Kevin Owens, how did Brock Lesnar get it?
Okay, so Kevin Owens had it. Bill Goldberg got it. And then Bill Goldberg had it. And then
Bill Goldberg got it.
Bill
Then
Goldberg
he had
got
it.
it. And then he dropped the title last year to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's had the title for every year.
So he lost the title to Lesnar, like pin in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
And how about Owens to?
Goldberg.
So going back to Finn Balor,
Yeah,
who had to relinquish the title.
after only one day. Separated his shoulder. Still finished
Hold
the
on,
match, though,
hold
brother.
on. None of these guys have beaten the champion to be the champion.
You're talking the lineal championship.
I'm saying Finn Balor was not beat by any of these guys for the title.
So they're all paper champions.
They're all paper champions.
I
We've
believe
been down
that,
this road before.
I believe that Brock Lesnar did have a match with Finn Balor, and he did.
Balor
And he did conquer him as he is the conqueror.
for a title belt.
No,
Right.
well, he's a lineal champion. Don't you know how lineal champions work?
Okay, so is Khabib a real champion?
Do you? No, he's not. Well, he's not. He's the recognized champion. He's not the lineal champion.
So
once again, I'm going to ask you: do you know what it means when someone says a lineal champion?
They've beaten the people in front of them in a row.
So that means no, you don't know what it means.
What is it?
So okay,
I'm asking.
So if a person has a title belt
Right?
and they relinquish it. Whether it's like you saw that a lot in boxing, where no, I'm not going to defend this to the mandatory, and they drop the title. Or here's a good idea for you right here. Mark Coleman, when he won that Pride Grand Prix,
Right.
there was a really good article on it in the recognized heavyweight champions in MMA, the UFC, and all this, versus the lineal. So you have a champion who drops the belt.
So when you say drop, he's beaten, or
No,
he
like
loses the belt. It's taken
no,
away,
it's
whatever.
taken away due to a medical thing.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, here's a perfect example. GSP wins the middleweight title,
Right.
and he goes, "Fuck it, I'm never going to defend it." Just
Gives
dropped
it away.
He's still he's the lineal champion. It's an unrecognized thing.
So he's not a recognized champion?
No, he's not. He doesn't hold the belt anymore. So who's the middleweight champion right now in the UFC?
It's Tyron Woodley, right?
No, he's a welterweight.
Oh. Who the hell is the champion?
It's that Australian
Oh, yeah,
kid.
yeah, I know who you're
He's
talking
the
about.
recognized champion. If
But he didn't beat a champion for the title.
that's why it's an unofficial thing. It's kind of like a pound for pound.
Right.
It doesn't really mean anything, but it does kind of mean anything. It's kind of like when Muhammad Ali had to drop his titles.
But
Joe Frazier, who they're going to name a road after in Philadelphia.
Okay.
He was supporting Muhammad Ali because he was their lineal champion. He knew that he needed to fight him to beat him to be fully recognized as an undisputed.
Okay.
So it's basically just like it's an unofficial. The company would never say he's the lineal champion. It's more of a thing for the fans to talk about.
I'm still confused on the answer of Brock Lesnar being the champion if nobody beat Baylor for the champion.
Because I'm pretty sure that they had a match and he won.
For a title.
Oh my God. It would never be for the lineal championship.
So there's a title on the line.
Unofficially.
It can only be official.
Oh my God.
Am I wrong
fine.
in this time?
Brock Lesnar's title would officially be on the line. However, in the eyes of the fan, if Lesnar beats him, he is the undisputed official blah blah blah.
All right. So Daniel Cormier, who has the title right now in the UFC.
He's not the real champion in my eyes. He's not
Who
the
is the
lineal
real champion?
The lineal champion is John Jones. John Jones doesn't have that title because inexplicably for some reason he decided after his fight camp was done that he wanted to bang some rails of cocaine that were laced with creatine unknowingly, and that's why he pissed
And the
hot.
creatine's the wrong. The creatine is the one he's getting busted for, or whatever it is.
Yeah, it
Which
was
is
laced
crazy.
with creatine. Apparently, they cut cocaine with creatine. It's one of the things they'll cut it.
So let's pick another division where there's a champion who Khabib.
Jesus Christ! I mean, look at you could look at the lightweight division. You could look at the featherweight division. You could look at the middleweight division.
So who do you recognize?
Shit,
as
you could look at. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Stipe.
The fucking
I accept your apology.
the welterweight champion. They're going to have an interim title.
So-
Interim titles are bullshit.
In your mind right now, let's just go through the divisions. Who's the real champion and who's the paper champion?
Okay, so we've got the heavyweight division.
Right?
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind.
Stipe.
Because he beat the champion. He beat the guy that beat the guy.
Okay, so that's what counts.
That's what counts.
Is that considered the lineal in your mind?
Well, yeah, because the guy who
Okay.
because
I just want to clarify.
well, wait a minute. You had interim, and Verdum was the guy that unified them. So Verdum lost to Stipe. So yeah.
Okay, so 205.
So will that be Daniel Cormier? I would say John Jones.
And who did Jones beat for the title?
Cormier.
No, he didn't beat Cormier for the title.
Fuck, he didn't. His
No,
last fight he
who did he
did.
get?
So-
Who did he get the title?
So
from?
hold on a sec.
Who did he originally get from Shogun?
So he beat Cormier, who was not the lineal champion.
John Jones
now
had-
John Jones is not the champion. I'm just doing the math.
I know what he said.
John
I know
Jones
what you're saying though.
beat Shogun.
Right.
Okay, he had to drop the title.
And he dropped it.
He dropped it because of the charges and whatnot. Daniel Cormier won a #1 contender.
Right. So
fight
we're
or
gonna go
something.
back to when he
so
still
then,
had the
So
title.
then Cormier had the belt. They fought
So you
again.
just erase everything in between. Technically.
Well, not officially, but I'm saying like
Eyes of the fan.
as a legitimacy.
Fan eyes.
He's not legitimate in my eyes. His
Okay.
belt is meaningless.
Let's
to
go
me.
to 185.
Okay.
Whitaker's the champion right now. Melissa Moss just reminded me of that. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, the lineal champion is GSP because he beat Michael Bisping,
Right.
who beat the champion, who beat Luke Rockhold.
So Whitaker has the
And
belt.
he left while he was a champion.
Correct.
So he was just getting his belt back.
Right.
So, Whitaker won an interim title, which became the recognized title after the recognized title holder said, I'm out.
How about 170?
Tyron Woodley is the recognized champion. However, they are going to have an interim title belt.
But he's not the lineal champion.
Sure he is.
He didn't beat.
He beat Robbie Lawler.
Right, but Lawler didn't beat GSP.
GSP dropped. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you could say then, yeah. All right.
So in your mind, GSP is still the champion. So he has to fight
Until he gets defeated.
T Wood.
Until he gets defeated.
All right. I'm just asking. I'm curious how your brain works on this.
Okay.
So
Keep going with this. 'Cause
so-
I'm going to pull this shit up here.
GSP is technically the champion in your mind still until Tyrone beats him, and Tyrone's really an interim guy.
Correct.
Okay. So 155, you have
Complete lineal championship histories for each division. The heavyweight and the current champion is Stipe.
give me 155. That's what we're on right now.
All right, hold on. I'm going to fucking pull this shit up.
No, I like it. I think this is an interesting conversation.
All right, the lineal
I have 155,
is Conor McGregor.
and he beat
Jose Aldo.
Jose Aldo,
Correct.
and
Or no, or did he beat Eddie?
He beat Eddie.
Eddie. He beat
okay.
Eddie for that one.
So he beat Eddie for that one, and who did Eddie beat for that?
Eddie beat Dos Anjos.
Okay, so Dusanya's had the title for a while.
Correct.
Okay, so let's go to 145.
Here's how
Conor again.
here's how it would
But Jose Aldo got that title in 145. It was just handed to him when they bought WEC.
here's the thing. Listen to this. So this is how a lineal championship would work. So GSP is, in many people's eyes, the lineal champion in welterweight and middleweight. Now let's say that he has a mega fight with Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor fights him. It's just a mega fight, no official
Who's
titles.
he fighting?
Conor McGregor.
Versus
GSP.
Okay.
And it's a fight at whatever weight they have. Let's just say we'll make it 170. There's no official titles on the line. If Conor McGregor won, in sports writers and some fans' eyes, you could make the case that Conor McGregor is the lineal welterweight champion because he beat the guy that never lost the belt. That's how it
All right,
works.
I like that idea.
That's how it is.
Who do you think wins that fight?
Conor.
I think GSP.
I think GSP kills him.
He's
Not
too
the GSP that fought Michael Bisping. He looked gassed. He looked tired. And you got to remember, he is a bigger version of guys that Conor McGregor has fought. These wrestler boxers that.
But he's not really a boxer though. He's well rounded in everything. He's got Muay Thai.
And his
his
wrestling.
wrestling's off the charts. And Conor has trouble with wrestlers.
Did he have trouble against Eddie Alvarez?
Eddie Alvarez, it didn't seem like he even tried to take him down.
Because
He had trouble with Chad Mendes.
he had. Yeah, that's true too. But that was a little bit ago. He's improved. I think that Conor McGregor is a guy that can get in your head and make you fight his fight. Very similar to a Diaz.
But he's the lineal champion.
And-
Right now,
In
145.
both.
145 and 155 because he beat Jose Aldo, a guy who was on a decade reign of
Who
dominance.
did Jose Aldo beat for the UFC title?
Well, I think he came over as the WEC
Yeah, it
champion.
was handed to him.
Well, it wasn't
more-
handed to him. It was
But there was a 145-pound division prior to him coming from WEC.
yeah, whoever he fought for that title. I think it was
He didn't fight for a title. It was given to him when he showed up.
No, let me talk here. 145 he beat, was it Mike Brown?
In WEC.
Yeah, and when he came into the UFC, that fight that they had, the winner of that fight would be the UFC 145-pound champion.
Yeah, it was the first champion.
But what I mean is they
I'm not
didn't just
mistaken.
give it to him. They didn't say, okay, your belt is now this belt.
All right.
He just happened to win.
All right, let me ask you this question. Ronda came from Strikeforce.
Correct. She wasn't, oh, she was the 140.
She was a champion immediately without having to fight for it in the UFC.
I remember, and they gave that to her, and a lot of people were pissed about that.
Right. So there's no lineal champion in that division.
Correct. Kind of like the way on Monday Night Raw, Eric Bischoff basically created the World Heavyweight Championship, which was a version of the big gold belt, which was used
Which
by Jim.
championship was it?
the World Heavyweight Championship. They gave it to Triple H, but it was a copy of the big gold belt, the famous Ric Flair belt, made by the Comin Jewelers by Jim Crockett Promotions, which was supposed to be the NWA Heavyweight Championship belt, which replaced the 10 pounds of gold. However, the NWA didn't want to pay for the belt to be made, so therefore it didn't have an NWA logo on it.
How many pounds is the belt?
The big gold belt or the 10 pounds of gold, the famous
I know how much the 10 pounds of belt weighs.
10 pounds.
By the name.
Yeah. The domed globe. I think that belt was like 15 pounds. That belt is huge.
So the 135-pound division is, who's the champion right now in 135?
Holloway.
Holloway?
Max Holloway.
At 135?
Holloway's 145.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Khabib just won the title.
Mighty Mouse.
Khabib just won a title without beating Holloway, and Holloway didn't beat anybody that had the belt.
Max Holloway was going up, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was going to be going up a weight. Flyweight. No, wait.
He was going up a weight.
Featherweight.
For that fight.
Featherweight at 145 is Max Holloway.
No, he's 145 now. That fight, Khabib was 155.
Featherweight is Max Holloway. So the lineal champion is Conor McGregor.
Holloway was
Khabib was moving up a belt.
No, Holloway was going for 2 belts. If he had won that, he was going to have 2 belts.
All right, 10-4.
So
good buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
So at 135, who's the champion? Holloway?
Yeah.
Who did he beat at 135? I think it was an interim title again.
He beat Jose Aldo.
Did he beat Jose?
Yeah, they fought because they fought for what was considered to be the interim title.
Wait, 135?
Yeah, but Jose lost the title.
145.
Oh, we're still 145.
Yes.
That's Holloway.
They fought. Jose Aldo and him fought when Max Holloway beat the shit out of him pretty badly. It was for an interim title.
After Conor gave it up.
No, this is before Conor gave it up. He still had it. He didn't know what they were going to do yet. Once Conor gave it up, that belt became the recognized championship. Then they fought again. Remember when they fought again?
Right.
And then he brutalized him.
But it's not a lineal champion because...
Correct.
So out of all the UFC divisions, I think, was it heavyweight's the only lineal champion right now?
Demetrius Johnson.
You know what? You got
flyweight.
You got Dillashaw.
Flyweight and Dillashaw.
Who did Dillashaw beat?
Cody Garbrandt.
And they're
Who
going to
did
fight
Garbrandt
again.
beat?
Dominic Cruz.
Who did Cruz beat?
TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah, Dillashaw wasn't the lineal. Okay, so here's a perfect example.
So Renan Barão had it for
even
a while.
though, hold on.
TJ beat him.
Okay, there you go.
Dominic beat him.
When
Gotcha.
Dillashaw fought Dominic Cruz, even though Dominic Cruz was the challenger for the official title,
And then we're at 135 right now.
the lineal championship was also up for grabs because Dominic Cruz was the unofficial lineal champion. TJ Dillashaw never beat him because Cruz had to give up his belt.
So Dillashaw has the belt now. He's not the lineal champion.
No, he is. Well,
He is.
he is
Because he beat the man that was the man?
he lost to Dominic Cruz.
Right.
Dominic Cruz was then
Lost
still
to
the
Cody.
lineal
Lost to Cody.
and the recognized champion. He lost to Cody, who then lost to TJ.
But at some point, didn't Dominic give up his belt due to injury?
Yes, I
But
just
then he
fucking said, don't you listen?
But as soon as he got it back and then lost it to somebody, that somebody now was the real
But the guys
champion,
in between don't count.
which was Renan Barão, which was a pretty nasty dude.
Yeah.
I know, but he didn't beat Cruz for the belt, right?
No, Cruz got hurt, right?
Cruz
Yeah.
got hurt.
Okay, so his belt was taken away. So
Yeah.
Renan was never a part of the lineal championship, is what I'm getting at.
No, Renan Barão, I think we're getting confused here. Renan Barão,
Yeah.
maybe.
So right now, the heavyweight division is the only division with a lineal champion.
No.
Because
Flyweight.
Renan Barão defeated
There's
Uriah
only been
Faber
one.
for the
There's only been one flyweight championship in the UFC.
Demetrius.
Yeah.
Okay.
Demetrius is a fucking.
So he never beat anybody.
Yeah, who did
guy.
Demetrius beat?
He didn't beat the guy.
Well, see, the other thing is this: is
Another
that
WEC, like coming over from WEC, right?
no, because the
How long ago did they buy
be-
WEC?
because the lineal
It's probably 6
championship,
years.
a lineal championship is not just in a promotion. Like, okay, so when Mark Coleman was the UFC heavyweight champion, he lost to these guys. Like, he lost to Maurice Smith, who then lost to Kevin Randleman, who then, you know what I mean? Randy Couture was the UFC heavyweight champion.
Right.
Follow me here.
I'm following.
He dropped the title. He went over to Japan and got submitted by Enson Inoue. Enson Inoue was now the lineal champion. Couture went back, had UFC titles and wins and stuff like that, but that lineal championship was making its way in Japan now. Mark Coleman regained that lineal championship when he had that tear in pride for a while. Nogueira had it, Fedor had it, and such and such and so it kind of linked back up. It's now unified back into one.
So based off the conversation we had, right? The UFC has the heavyweight championship as a lineal championship, and the 125 is a lineal championship. Everything in between.
No, 135 is as well. TJ Dillashaw is.
Okay, 125, 135, and 265 is it. Every other division is not a lineal champion.
It seems like that. Like, okay, so let's go here. So we've got...
I think I'm right.
Okay, hold on. I want to find this.
And the women's division, 145, I think that one's a real one because Cyborg had a fight for the championship, right? It wasn't one that was just given to her.
Yeah, they created that title for her.
Right, but she had a fight to win that championship. It wasn't just handed to her like Ronda.
Correct.
So the women's division actually is fairly...
It's fairly shallow and fairly new.
No, but I don't think there's a paper one in there.
No.
Right, but so
Rose
that's
beat-
the other true champion.
No, well, you got all. I think all the women's divisions are all.
But Rousey was handed the title.
Yeah.
Coming from Strikeforce.
So that's where it started.
Right.
Yeah.
But she didn't beat anybody in UFC.
Correct.
She beat
technically.
everybody that was in front of her until somebody beat her, though.
But since they absorbed it, I guess that counts.
Yeah. I was really disappointed that Rose Namajunas won.
I was too. I didn't think that was going to happen.
I don't like her.
I like her.
I don't like her at all. I don't like the way she talks. I don't like the way she looks like E.T.
I think if you follow her on Instagram, you might like her.
No.
Because Todd came over and I said, do you follow her? And it's
Don't like
her
her.
singing a song from
Frozen,
right?
Just
She's
don't
just
like
kind of singing it. And as she's singing the song, she puts a boxing glove on her right hand, right? And she's singing along and she's just kind of going and she walks into her bedroom. Pat Barry's asleep with one of those things over his
she
eyes.
socks
She
him?
slugs the shit out of him right in the face while he's sleeping.
I immediately changed my opinion on this girl.
But then there's
Imagine being their neighbor. Jesus
dude,
Christ.
There's also videos of those two making food in the kitchen,
Yeah.
they're
and it's funny as shit. Like.
Well, I know she left him for a while.
Well, hold
I
on.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
They're out on the back porch, and they're like, while stuff's cooking, we go out on the back porch, and they both open a beer and they clank them together, and they just pour them from here.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they do a lot of funny stuff
without
together.
putting his business on Front Street, he was having some issues with some stuff, and she left him.
Did you just you went Front Street? I was thinking Jump Street.
Now, you remember there was a fight where he wasn't in her corner, and someone asked, I think Rogan asked, like where he's at, and she's like, that's personal. I don't want to talk about it.
That's literally the biggest sign that you're not supporting somebody is when you're not in their corner.
Well, no, he was getting rehabbed or cleaned up.
Like if you and I are arguing,
Brock Lesnar likes Pat Barry. The fact that Brock Lesnar likes anybody is pretty amazing.
but if you and I were arguing and something happened, I'm like, Bolt's just not in my corner anymore. Like literally, he's not in the corner.
Yeah.
Like you can't get any more telling than that.
I've had a lot of people like leave my corner.
Well, this one's running long.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Yeah,
We're
but we
like
got-
2
we got-
hours into this.
You got a guy you both know fighting this weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go over that
I
card real
kept trying to
fast.
talk about it 18 times, and
You didn't say anything about the card this
Yes, he
weekend.
did.
It's a
He kept-
fight night
He did.
I kept saying it.
card, and real quick, like Todd and I, we're going to Camelback Mountain tomorrow morning for festivities. We're going through the water park, and then we're gonna do the other stuff. We got to make sure we're back on Saturday night for the UFC fights. And on this fight card, which is on Fox Sports Network, Todd?
I believe it is.
Yeah, it's a fight night card. I think the prelims are pretty decent, right?
They're not bad.
Why don't you start down there?
Hit us.
Start in the
I'll
south.
hit you with somebody that we could start with.
He's like his dad jokes, just not ready.
Diago Lima versus Yushan Akami.
Yushin Okami. What's up, Yushan? I'm going to take Yushin Okami in this one.
I think
He doesn't have many
I
more
think
fights in
I
him.
think Diago's got him.
Look at this video that my brother.
Diego, by the
Look
way.
at this video that my brother Paranormal Bob just sent me.
Oh, very nice. He's on here, by the way, anyway, like chiming in the whole time. You can see his comments up there.
He's
So,
wild. You're a wild man.
Diego Lima, not Diago.
Diago. San
Lima.
Diego.
I think one day we just do the name game with Todd.
Holy shit. Giggles over here?
Yeah, he can't laugh, and if he says it wrong, he has to drink.
Giggles.
Giggles the clown. And I love his shirt, by the way.
I know. His Fit Finley shirt. He's a wrestler.
Then you got Krzysztof Jocko versus Brad Tavares.
Tavares.
And who's the first guy?
Krzysztof Jocko,
How do you spell the last name?
Jotko.
Okay. This is about as close as you can get coming out of
Pretty
Todd.
good. It's pretty good.
I'm going to go with
When in doubt, always
Tavares.
go for
Brad
the neck.
Tavares is a tough dude.
He is.
I believe you guys know this next guy, Wilson Hayes versus John Moraga.
I'm going Hayes for sure. By submission.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very important fight for him. He's got to win this one.
By
And
submission.
he's got to win emphatically.
Well, he's only got one loss recently, right?
It's coming off 2.
Who's the other one?
Mighty Mouse,
Right?
Cejudo.
Cejudo.
Okay. Both 1 and 2. Right?
Yes, they were both 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't say he's on a bad streak. Like
Not at
You're
all.
ranked number 3 and you fight 1 and 2?
Not at all.
Not bad.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. He's not on the chopping block. I don't
He's
think
number
for sure.
6 right now.
Okay.
You got Tim Boach versus Antonio Carlos Jr.
The Barbarian. Remember
I'm gonna-
those fucking
you can't-
uppercuts he hit Okami with?
You can't count Bosch out.
No.
He's
got
on
that,
a little bit of a tear late.
He's got that weird fucking strength where he's just
He's like a gorilla. He's
a
like a
caveman.
shaved gorilla.
yeah. So you think Wilson's gonna win by submission in the first round?
I didn't say the first round, but I think he wins by submission.
Yeah, he's gotta win this one.
Yeah, I think for sure he wins.
Who's he fighting again? What's his
John
guy?
Moraga.
Fuck that guy.
He's the guy that Connor fought and he was angry, right? Is that the guy I'm thinking of, or it's a different guy?
I don't know. But fuck Moraga. Is that his name? Moraga?
Yeah. Wilson in by submission for sure. Who's the next fight, Todd?
Fuck you, Moraga.
Next
bitch.
noteworthy is Carlos Condit versus Alex Cowboy Oliveira.
Holy shit. Condit, man.
I like Condit.
Don't get up to go to the bathroom during that one.
Yeah.
That's
I like
a
Condit.
good fight.
You ever see pictures of Condit's wife?
She's hot.
Big ass. I love it.
But Condit versus
And if I saw it, I would say respectfully, sir.
the no offense taken.
No, sorry. Did you ever see? Never mind.
But the two of those guys fighting together, both guys are high level strikers, right? I don't think it's going to the and Carlos is probably better on the ground. I would think.
I don't know.
So I go with Carlos in that one for sure.
I think he has the best chance of success standing up.
I go Carlos. Who's the next fight, Todd?
We have Poirier versus
The Diamond.
Dustin Poirier?
Yeah.
versus Justin Gaethje.
Is that the main event?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is a fucking slugfest,
That's
that
a pick 'em.
one.
Speaking of slugfest, did you watch
I'm going with Poirier.
Boshniak versus who was the tall Russian guy that fought last week?
That was a hell of
The
a fight.
two of those dudes, Boshniak took a beating first round, second round, third round. He came back, and the last minute and a half up against the cage, these two dudes just standing toe to toe slugging.
Yeah.
One of the best fights I've seen in a long time. And I'm not saying best fight in regards to skill.
Yeah.
I'm saying best fight in regards to a dude that has a heart that's just not going to go down.
That's kind of how I felt about the Charlotte and Asuka match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I felt the same way. And that's the main event.
Yes, sir.
And with that note,
I'm going with Poirier.
I'm going to go with Poirier as well, even though Justin Gaethje is good.
He is, but he better fight a lot smarter than he did against Eddie Alvarez.
And there's Bellator tomorrow too.
who's fighting?
I don't know, but somebody sent a message. Melissa said,
Yeah, she's
"Don't
a-
forget about Bellator tomorrow."
She's a big Bellator fan. Let's pull up the Bellator MMA, ladies and gentlemen.
I haven't watched Bellator in a long time.
I like Bellator. I think it's better than UFC.
You know why? Because I got rid of my.
Chandler. Oh shit.
Who's Chandler fighting?
Gertz.
Jamie?
Oh, I'm pulling it up right now.
Nothing from Jamie Gertz from.
I heard you.
She's isn't she the one with the robot?
Brandon Gertz
Brandon Gertz that must
against
be her
Michael
brother.
Chandler. Both of these dudes, fucking, Michael Chandler's the man, and
That's
then
a
go
good
down
card.
the line.
yeah,
And what?
Then go down the rest of it.
Yeah,
AJ McKee,
nothing. Actually, I like AJ McKee.
10-0,
Okay.
undefeated against Justin Lawrence. Again, this is a fight to make AJ.
Yeah, just rattle off the rest of them. They're probably all unrecognizable.
Baby Kimbo Slice, his kid.
Bimbo Slice.
Yeah. Devin Brock. So again, they're doing the right thing with Kimbo's kid is
Why do they need to do the right thing though? I don't.
because he's a guy with a name. You know, his dad's famous or was famous rather. They want to build this prospect up instead of throwing him to the lion's den.
So you felt the same way about Randy Couture's kid?
Well, I think if he was as marketable, yeah, I think that
Kevin Ferguson
why is this kid marketable?
he has the potential to be marketable.
Well, he's marketable just because of his father.
You know, I'm being serious. I mean, look, there's a certain way that you see boxing. I mean, these guys, they build their career. They're very particular about how they build a prospect up to where they could be like 20-0 before they start really fighting some high-level competition. MMA is a lot different. It's like you're fighting for fucking titles at your third, fourth fight in.
As much as you love Bellator, how many of these people are you waiting after the fight to get their autograph?
0.
Well,
None.
I would say, hold on. I would say Michael Chandler.
Yeah, after Chandler.
That's
their problem. They have a great main event usually.
They can't put the rest of the card together.
The rest of the card is
Really?
yes.
Well, I think you're just being a cocksucker.
All right. Speaking of Todd being a cocksucker and TV breaker, let's end the show. You can catch us next week for episode 221. Thanks for listening. Check out Philly
or
Comedy.
222.
I don't know.
222.
222. Check out Philly Comedy Club. See our buddy Russ.
Both of you guys.
Use the Coming At You podcast code CAY Pod. Also go to Atlantic City Comedy Club at the Tropicana at the Kiss Kiss Angel bar. Check out Dads and Cargo Shorts. Go to
You can't talk tonight.
I got indigestion. Go to outofpocketnetwork.com. Check us out on comingatyoupodcast.com and restpatu.com. Also dadsandcargoshorts.com. And I think that's it.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.